The last loss for both of these fighters was 2 fights ago, and both of them lost to Khabib. Since their first meeting in 2014, Conor has 6 wins and 2 losses, and Dustin has 10 wins, 2 losses, and a no contest. To put in perspective how much has changed since they first fought, that event only sold 205,000 pay-per-views, and they were not only not the main event, they were not even the co-main event of that card. Conor was paid $75K to fight and $75K to win. On that card, Amanda Nunes actually lost a fight. She lost to Kat Zingano. Jorge Masvidal was on the prelims, and so was Wonderboy and Dominic Cruz. Kevin Lee was on the Fight Pass prelims. There was no Reebok deal at the time, so they had their own sponsors on their shorts, and they still had that big banner by the back of their heads selling whatever. Those were simpler times. Conor's an extremely dangerous fighter in rounds 1 and 2. 20 of his 22 wins have come in the first or second round. He's gone the distance of 5 rounds 1 time in his career versus Nate Diaz. Poirier's gone the distance twice versus Holloway and Hooker. Both of these guys had a fight go into round 4, Poirier versus Gaethje and Conor versus Khabib. So in the first couple rounds, Conor is the favorite, but if the fight goes into the last couple rounds, maybe things even out, and maybe Dustin becomes the favorite because of his cardio. One interesting stat is that in his last fight with Hooker, he threw and landed more significant strikes in round 5 than he did in round 1, 3, and 4. Not in round 2, because that round was crazy, but for him to go through an absolute war for 20 minutes and then have more output in round 5 than he did in rounds 1, 3, and 4 shows impressive cardio endurance and his capacity for tenacity. After over 11 years in the sport and 26 fights under his belt, Michael Chandler makes his UFC debut versus Dan Hooker. Both of these guys actually started fighting in 2009. Hooker has won Fight of the Night in his last 2 fights versus Paul Felder and Dustin Poirier, and his fight with Chandler also has potential to make a run for Fight of the Night honors. Chandler is one of the greatest fighters in the history of Bellator. He's had 3 title reigns there and is tied for the most fights with 23. The biggest favorite on this card is Khabib's cousin Umar, who is a minus 500 favorite versus Sergey Morozov. Hopefully Nurmagomedov makes this fight. He's had to pull out of his last 2. This is his 4th attempt to make his UFC debut in the last 9 months.
The betting odds.
I'm looking how to put money there too.
To this day.